Ulan ya. Oke. Kayena waca cittena pamadena maya katang acayang kamame bante buri panya tata kata kayena waca cittena pamadena maya katang acayang kamame dhamma sanditika akalika kayena waca cittena pamadena maya katang acayang kamame sangga supatipana anuttara sa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhang saranang gacchami. Dhammang saranang gacchami. Sanghang saranang gacchami. Tisarana gamanang paripunang panatipata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Adina dana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Abrahmacharya veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Musawada veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Surameraya majapamadatthana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Vikala bhojana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Nacha, Gita, Vadita, Visuka Dasana, Malaganda, Vilepana, Dharana, Mandana, Vibhusanatana, Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami, Uchasayana, Mahasayana, Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami, Idang me silang, Magapala Nyanasa, Pachayo, Hotu, Appamadena Sampadeta, Sa. Okay. Let us start off with some guided meditation on the 32 parts of the body. Let us relax the body. Relax the body, relax the mind. Let go of all the thinking, planning, memories. Just keep the mind open, calm, and peaceful, mindful here and now. Let us relax from top of the head. Any tension, tightness, fatigue, let it all go. Slowly down to the forehead, face, to the neck and shoulders, to the arms, chest area, stomach area, to the spine, to the back, to the buttocks, to the hips, to the thighs, to the knees, calves, ankles, soles, toes. So relax the body. Head hair, body hair, nails, teeth, skin. 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 Now let us start tonight with the nails. Nails, 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 nails. Nails, 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 nails. Now let us imagine its shape and location, color. The nails can be at the end of our fingers, the fingernails, or end of the toes, the toenails. Its location is shaped like a wedge, slightly bigger, slightly smaller, and then its natural color, whitish, slightly yellowish or slightly pinkish. Nails, nails, nails. So imagine its location, its shape, its size, its color. Then we imagine these nails. Imagine that they are removed from the fingers and is on the table. Let us contemplate on the nails. Right now, it is no more beautiful, no more pleasant. They are repulsive, they are dirty, and we don't even want to touch it. Imagine we have our fingernails cut, or we cut our fingernails. And imagine all the pieces on the table, on the floor. One is removed from the body, disconnected, then it's no more beautiful. Now imagine we leave the fingernails on its own, on its natural condition, without cleaning, without washing. Then it will gather dirt, germs, and so on. Perhaps it become disease, fungal infection. So its true nature begin to reveal itself. That this body is not something to be attached to. Nails, nails, nails. Nails, nails, nails. Next one, you do the teeth. Teeth, teeth, teeth. Teeth, teeth, teeth. Now again, we imagine the location of the teeth on the upper jaw, lower jaws, the shape, size, color, your front teeth, your back molar teeth. There are different shapes and sizes. Some shaped like a wedge, sharp, some a little bit sharp, some a little bit flat. Its color can be whitish, yellowish. Again, we imagine its repulsiveness. For example, we are in a dentist, we have a tooth extracted. And we look at the tooth. It's not something beautiful to look at. It's no more beautiful. They're foul, they're repulsive. It's something not for us to attach to. Imagine the teeth is not being cleaned. We leave it in its natural condition. Then it will gather germs, gather all sort of bacteria, maybe fungus, and so on. It become foul, smelly, not something for us to attach to. Teeth, 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 teeth. We go to the next one, skin. Skin, skin, skin. Skin, skin, skin. And here imagine the skin of the body, from top of the head all the way down to the toes, to the legs. And wrapped by this skin, a few molecule thickness, it gives rise to the color, to the shape, to the roughness or smoothness. Now imagine this skin is being removed as if like we can able to unwrap from the whole body, take out the whole skin and leave it on the table. Now this time the skin is no more beautiful, no more pleasant, no more beautiful, no more attractive. In fact, that when they look at it on its own, they are foul, they are smelly, it harbors all kinds of germs and diseases. On this body, if we don't clean it, if we leave it in its natural condition, then it will gather germs and give rise to all the itchiness, disease, and so on. Something not attractive, not for us to attach to. They are repulsive, they are foul. That is the nature of the skin. So skin, skin, skin. Nail, teeth, skin. So head hair, body hair, nail, teeth, skin. Head hair, body hair, nails, teeth, skin. Okay, slowly we let go. We let go of the contemplation. Bring the mind back again to the present moment. Feel the rise and fall of the abdomen. Feel the sitting. And then we can slowly open our eyes. Okay. Hold on, everyone. Something look different. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on, everyone. Okay, doesn't matter. All right. Where were we? We are talking about the sensual desire. Now we are still in the 7 factors of enlightenment. We are still in this tranquility. And in this tranquility, when we talk about tranquility, we are not just talking about the quietness of the mind, which we bring it up on during in the meditation, that is important. That is the tranquility. But in order for that tranquility to come in, then it is also important that we understand the surrounding factors that help to able to arouse that tranquility of the mind. That is to say, we have to reduce our agitation connected to all the hindrances. And the agitation connected to all the hindrances is not just only when you are in the retreat. But other words, when you're at home, you already do your part. If it's you at home, if you don't care, don't bother, then you come to a retreat, then it's going to hard time for you to settle the mind. So, in other words, we need to able to look into all as much as we can, that all these things to help us to calm our mind down, so that our mind is not so aggressive and agitated with all kinds of sensual desire, and especially with sensual desire. They are not easy for us to detect. So a number of things we had talked about it yesterday. So there's another one I want to look into it. This is contentment. Contentment. The nature of this contentment is only applied to our material things, not your spiritual development now. I'm contented with my progress. There's no such thing. There's always not enough. Unless you're arhana, then it's totally another thing. So don't come and tell me, you come in, meditate now, and then I'm contented with my progress. There's no such thing as contentment with all the spiritual development. Spiritual development is always not enough. Just like mindfulness is always not enough. Vitamin M, depend on how you look at it. If you are in here, then it's always not enough. When you're out there also, vitamin M also not enough. Always not enough. No. So contentment is for our material things. In other words, whatever that we have, uh, if you can live with it, then live with it. We don't have to follow all kinds of things. I know you heard about all these talks on contentment, perhaps in the out there, But I want to stress a little bit is that contentment on material things, you also must live with. I mean, you have to put in some wisdom into it too. Is contentment doesn't mean that don't care, don't bother. Sometimes people take contentment as like, I mean, they don't bother about anything. Just like yesterday I mentioned, or the day before, Tuesday, I said that sometimes yogis, when they thought that they become yogis, then they do not know how to dress anymore. They do not know how to dress for different occasion anymore. Wherever they grow, they just that very chin chai, they dress, they don't care, don't bother anymore. They said contentment. That is not contentment. That is, you don't apply certain degree of wisdom. Yeah. And also contentment also, it also connected to our material things. Because nowadays, contentment is not just keep on using and using and using and using and using. For example, your car, let's say, uh, let's say 10 years already, it's already 10 years. Huh? And then a lot of things are spoiled and all that thing. Then you say, I'm contented with it. But actually, it's not safe anymore. We sometimes we forget about the safety, as for us it's as long as you can boleh jalan from point A to point B, okay, then we don't care, don't bother about to upkeep or to change a new one. For example, there's some of the things that sometimes we have to look into it. Contentment doesn't mean that no improvement at all. Contentment also means that when it's still okay, and when it needs to change. And for the good for the occasion and so on. Sometimes a lot of us being Buddhists already, then they become contented to an extreme, which is not good anymore. They says that, cannot have all these so many things, greed, greed here, greed there. It's not about greed. It's about learning to use it wisely, use things safely. Nowadays, in the modern times, all our gadgets and all our things doesn't last forever. It doesn't last. All these things, your phone, your computer, all these things, they are made to become obsolete so that you will buy another one. They're made to become obsolete. They know that the whole thing is when it's going to obsolete already. That means the whole thing is going to, not so useful in their life already. So they're made to do that nowadays things. So we have to be wise enough. So contentment is help us to reduce a lot of our greed. So only when there is a need for it, then we change. Or it's only at a right occasion, we change. If there's only proper, we improve on it. If you find that you like Mercedes and the Mercedes is good for you, because for your family or whatever, on safety or whatever, let's say, then might as well, all means you can change, from your little country to Mercedes. Also can, no problem. Because if you justified it to be safe and not because of fame, because it's proper improvement for yourself, for your family, because you want to travel longer distance or whatever, and then it is okay. But unless you see somebody who have a nice car, you also want to have nice car. Keep up with the Joneses. I call it English. A neighbor, what your neighbor have, also you want. Whatever your friends have, you also want. That is not contentment. So we have to exercise those things. What else? There's so many other things. There are so many other things to help us to reduce our greed. Never mind. When I remember, I'll come back to it a little bit here and there. We go on to the next one. On this agitation also. Now, this agitation, the next one, it's connected with the next hindrance, the ill will or the aversion. Here, the ill will, the aversion is all connected. Ill will, aversion, impatience, anger, dislike, all these, in a way, they are all in the same group, different names only. And towards an extent, it's cousin of ill will, which is sadness and fear. Cousin, because all of them share the same root, the root of dosa, the root of hatred root, the three evil roots. So all of them share the same this one, although they may look slightly different from one another. So when it comes to ill will or aversion, then this one is the complete opposite of sensual desire. Sensual desire is on one extreme. The other extreme is anger or this one. What is in the middle? Delusion. You see, anger, it's like when it's there. How does the anger feels like? You see, when anger comes in, it's easier for us to notice it compared to sensual desire. Sensual desire, it's on the below. Everything on top of it is the excitement, is the thrill, is the joy. Whereas anger, it goes up. Together with all the unpleasant feeling is right at the top. And then next thing is anger. It feels suffering. You feel congested. Whereas sensual desire, you feel good. You feel good. When you try angry and see if after a while you feel very, very, very difficult, very burning, very hot in the whole mind and this one. So in a way, because it's unpleasant, then it is clearer. So that's why the Buddha says, this anger and compared to sensual desire, it says, anger is easier to be removed. Whereas sensual desire is difficult to remove. Sensual desire because of its subtlety. Anger, because you can able to remove it because of its unpleasantness, because of its suffering, and because of its roughness of the mind, and it's clear. So it's easier for us to remove, easier for us to see. Sensual desire is difficult. Then sensual desire also, it's more acceptable by people, whereas anger, ill will is not acceptable by people. Acceptable, what do you mean by acceptable? That means if you are an angry person, who wants to go near you? If you love to eat one, kia lah, jia, everywhere go. People love to come to you because you are a joy, which is connected to all the sensual desire one. They come together, eat together, very happy. So acceptable by people. Marriage and so on. We talk about marriage, we talk about partners and so on. This is acceptable by majority of people. But when talk about anger, we talk about ill will, people usually shun away from this type of people. So as you see, when it's acceptable because of its pleasantness, people shun it away because of its unpleasantness. This is mentioned by the Buddha. Whereas delusion is not acceptable by people and also is difficult to remove. Because delusion is like wrong views and so on. A distorted view, it can be a problem. Anyway, what else? So, to hear when we are in the stage, when we are development, doing this vipassana practice, or actually when you go to any retreat, there will be some yogis you have a hard time with. Although you all may not talk, but sometimes certain yogis are very difficult to deal with. Or you yourself is the difficult one. Sometimes we don't realize that our actions, as over here, and even you don't talk, the action speaks very loud. And your action is only the way that how people look at you. Sometimes the way you walk, the way you open the door, the way you close your door, small little things when we are, especially in the retreat, they all blown up. Whereas when you're out there, we don't even bother about all these kind of things. Sometimes, like yogis, like this is not mentioned only by me, which also I've seen it myself. But other meditation teachers also mention, like for example, open window, close window. Some yogis want to be open, then the next one close. There's another one open, another one close, another one open and close. Wow. After, after they knock on each other's head now. Fan, another one. I want somebody one fan, somebody turn it off for you. Somebody you turn it on, then somebody off again for you. Wow, you really have a hard time. Sometimes some yogis they open the door, close the door. They don't go close slowly. They close and bang. They don't care about other people. They just bang. Uh, uh. So when we are meditating with people, with other yogis, with other people, so there will be things that you're going to you're going to rough up on your heart, and then you're going to feel a bit annoyed and irritation is going to come up. And because you're staying together, here you turn here, turn there, you see the person. You turn that one, you see the person. Then if you get annoyed with that person, you remember it. Then next retreat, you come back, yeah, same face again, See. Because every time you go retreat here and there, you see the same faces here and there, a bit new here and there, but more or less you see some same old faces. So you keep in the heart, then it's going to be very difficult. Every time you meditate, you'll be thinking about whether what is the person is doing. Is she going to on the fan again? No, it can be a very small thing. Sometimes some yogis get up from the dining hall, they don't push the chair in. Then it blocks your way a little bit. You also get annoyed. Why can't they just put the chair in? Always you blame somebody. And we have that little annoyance here and there. Always. You cannot sleep because somebody else snore. Then you curse the person. So a lot of things while we are here, as much as we try to meditate, the small little irritation arises. And if you have the character of a very, you cannot take all these type of things on, then you will blow out to other yogis. And then that time, it can be quite messy already. It can be quite messy. At one time, all this dislike and anger, I have to be like a judge, rather than a meditation teacher. Two yogis come in. One the window open, one the window closed. No, sorry, curtain. That one not window. Then one open, closed. Then after that, quarrel. Then after that, two of them come into the interview room. Then this one say their thing, this one say their thing. I'm not so interested. Both also kena marah. Because both of them are really angry traits. They cannot let anybody look down on them. They're very proud and very this one. As I said, like yesterday, those people who already, these people, the one that I mentioned, they are all in the past, in their working life, they are in a very top position. So a very top position, they are not going to get anybody into look down on them. There's no such thing as kind and soft. Every time their heart is so strong already. No, I want this means I want this. So the other one also that strong also, I want this means I want this. So all their character coming in. So head to head, just small little things. They get so angry with each other. Yeah. So difficult sometimes. Well, the thing is that when you meditate, sometimes this thing boils up in your heart. It boils up in your heart. How are you going to do it? How are you going to meditate? How are you going to meditate this time? Of course, as vipassana, we pay attention to it. We pay attention to it. It's painful. It's unpleasant, but you have to look at it as it is. In a short while, we're going to see how is it like. Now again here, the arising, the cause for this anger to arise. The Buddha says the cause for this anger to arise, again here, is completely the opposite of sensual desire. Again here, it starts off with unwise attention. All right? Unwise attention towards a repulsive object. Whereas in the greed one, in the lobha one, is unwise attention towards a beautiful object, of perception of beautiful and perception of repulsiveness, foulness. So it's the opposite of each other. Unwise attention again on the perception of repulsiveness or repulsive object. In other words, the person that you see or the situation or the sound that is disagreeable to you, then this becomes what we call repulsive, disagreeable object to you. The action, the person's action the one open a curtain, close a curtain, that action is disagreeable to you. So because of that unwise attention, anger arises, dislike arises. Huh? So you meditate, you listen to so happen to have strong sound coming in. Perhaps somebody cutting the grass. Then you dislike that sound because that sound is disagreeable to you, unpleasant to you, repulsive to you. Then anger arises, impatience arises, or a very, very agitated mind arises during this time. Yeah. So it's again here is the repulsiveness of the object. To overcome these things, to overcome this anger, then again here, we learn to settle it by the way of vipassana is again here, we have to see them as they are. The way of vipassana. To see them as they are, just like all the sensual desire that all the restless mind that I've talked about, is again that we go face to face with them. And we go face to face with anger. It is terrible because just like all our meditation objects are being magnified due to the nature of mindfulness. The nature of the mindfulness is to magnify the object so that your rising, falling become clear to you. Its characteristic, its deeper characteristic. The pain becomes clear to you, and then you see its characteristic. Other words, it becomes stronger, become more painful. You notice the nature of the mind. It exploded, becomes clear to you to see what is happening in the process. So too, when hindrances arises, when the mindfulness is on top of it, then all these hindrances also becomes expanded for you to see its true nature. Other words, when you are looking at the anger, then the anger will become very unpleasant, very rough, very like burning inside there, internally burning, as if like you want to explode inside. Get to your nerves inside. Then this is its characteristic, its burning characteristic. So the way of vipassana here again is to pay attention to it. That means instead of unwise attention, now it becomes wise attention. In other words, you begin to notice it. The more that you notice it in the beginning, the more that you notice this anger, you find that this anger, it's already a rough, very agitated state of mind. It's so rough, and then you think sometimes bad about the person. You want to complain, you want to feedback, whatever you want to say. The mind is so strong at this time. All the agitation coming in. So what you should do is this time is again that you got to notice them as they are. Anger, 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 anger. But this time, the nature of that anger is always very rough and very agitated state of mind. And it also not only come with anger, but it comes with a lot of thoughts that is surrounding it. So it comes with a lot of negative thoughts surrounding it. So these negative thoughts and this anger that it combines together, usually we call it, we have become very emotional, but as a Vipassana meditator, we learn to feel the anger and also together with the thoughts coming in. So you learn to accept it also. You must learn to accept it. Because sometimes there are yogis who cannot really accept the anger. It says, at home, I don't have all this anger towards people, but while I'm meditating, this one or this yogi I don't like, that yogi I don't like. How can? I'm quite a jolly good fella, out there, quite kind, I'm quite okay. But here, every little single thing, I bo song, bo shock already. How come I'm like that? I don't see myself like that. Is this something due to the meditation? They blame everything except themselves. So these type of things. Sometimes they out there, they don't notice that because a lot of times their anger is just here and there, sporadic. Whereas here, when they meditate, their anger becomes magnified. They think that they have a lot of anger, but it's actually only magnified by the mindfulness. As long as they learn to accept it, don't judge themselves that how come they are this type of person and that type of person. I shouldn't be like that. I'm not usually like that. So you got to see it as it is. You got to learn to accept that the anger has already arises. So pay attention to it. Uh, So this acceptance, for some people, as I said, they cannot accept themselves that they are angry. Uh, so your job is to, when the anger arises, you pay attention to them. Say this time, you meditate, meditate, meditate. Weather is a bit cool already. Today, feel the coldest, I think. Well, beginning of the retreat is so warm, so hot. Here, well, today is a bit cool. Yesterday also cool. Then somebody go and turn on the fan. You meditate, meditate, meditate. Somebody go and turn on the fan. Sometimes there are people, their skin, I think, must be very thick one, They can tahan cold one, Don't know how they are, how they are meditate. They can tahan really pain, really all the coldness. You turn on, they turn on number 3. Wow, you be tahan already. You want to. Number 1 also you cannot tahan already. Now it's number 3, Wow. Or and some people, some yogis are right in the 4 o'clock in the morning, they can turn on number 5 one. Some yogis are that, they just don't care, don't bother. But then you are sitting there. Then how? What are you going to do this time? You get angry. You get angry. So the anger come in, sometimes you feel that you want to get up and you want to give a piece of your mind to the person. You really feel I want to get up, you know. Beta hanya, because sometimes these people, they do it every morning, So what can you do? So if you cannot do anything, let's say, and let's say that time, let's say you can still able to withstand the coldness a little bit. Maybe you take up your jacket, take up your shawl beside you, you wrap it up a little bit more, then you try to meditate. And while you meditate, the anger is still burning inside there, and then there's a lot of thinking about the person, about what you should do. Should I tell Bhante? Should I tell this one? Should I tell the organizer? So a lot of anger this time. So here, other words, you already fall into the content of the story already. That means you fall into it, you associate the content as yourself, as I, and that person is the person. I, you, me, him, or me and her. So when there's a I involved, the identity involved, because you are drowned into the story already, then it will create more and more proliferation. Okay? So what you can do is that you learn to pull the mind out from it. Then this time you note anger, 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 one thing, do one thing. thinking, 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 desire, 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 anger, 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 anger. Because now sometimes the mind is shifting between anger and desire. You desire to do something, to tell the person to do whatever. You know? And here, angry, angry, angry. Your anger is there. So you keep on noting. You keep on noting. You see how it burns inside the heart. That's the way of vipassana. You know, to see how it burns inside the heart. It's difficult. And you keep on noticing it. Sometime after, if you're able to notice the anger, you begin to feel the irritation, the annoyance, and so on. If the mindfulness is strong enough, if the able to notice is strong enough, then the anger slowly, slowly, you feel that it's fade away. When it fades away, then you feel that there's a strong relief, a strong burden inside the heart has been dropped away. And it feels really good. It feels really good after that anger drop away. Uh, uh, so, so pay attention to them. A lot of times you have to bear up with a lot of things that is may not be pleasant to you. So a lot of times you have to bear up. Okay, we have to bear up with all these type of things. So not anger, not anger, 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 anger. Seeing, 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 hearing, 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 hearing. Uh, Sometimes we do walking meditation. We do walking meditation. Then after that, we see other yogis doing something else. Maybe the mind become very kepo already, you know. What is she doing? It's supposed to meditation time. Meditate lah, walk lah. Why want to do all kinds of things? the mind, the mind get annoyed with other person, whatever that they are doing. Maybe the person is not meditating. Maybe the person is just maybe the person is just sitting down there for whatever reason, maybe unwell or whatever. You know? But our mind, just because we see something that is, you feel that it's not right, you know? Then again, the mind already very judgmental already. Then all the irritation again arises. So next time when you see these type of things, then you note seeing, 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 seeing. Don't be too kepo about other people. Some people walk a little bit different from you. You also want to judge. Some people maybe they're walking and then they go and lie down for a while, perhaps whatever reason. Then you also judge lazy people. You see. We don't look at it more positively. That's why our mind is so narrow. So be careful. Small, small things in the retreat will make you very irritated. Make you very difficult. So you got to be very patient. To be patient here is that you control your eyes, you control your organ, sense organ. When you not happen to be other yogis, then not seeing, 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 seeing. Let them do what is they are needed, and then we just walk. We just walk. We just do whatever that is needed. Unless it is a life and death situation, then it's different. Then somebody drop on the floor, then just don't not seeing, 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 and then you just make sure you help, you know, that time. Then after you go and comment someone, what is she doing down there? I got to be careful, you know. So most of the time it is not like that. Most of the time, but most of the time it is that other yogis do other things that we get annoyed because of that. So watch out for our this one. Watch out for our hearing. Sometimes yogis, it makes a bit more noise due to opening and closing a door. Then we're not hearing, dislike, 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 annoyed, annoyed, annoyed. You know, sometimes like in the ladies' place also, your toilet bathroom is very near to the meditation your hall. Sometimes you meditate, somebody take shower there. Or somebody flushing or sometimes it can be quite noisy if they don't close the door. So that's why it's good. The meditation hall and the toilet is not too near to each other. You never know. A lot of yogis sometimes use the toilet. Then it can be very noisy, and sometimes the hall itself it enhances the sound echo the echo of this. So you put on a little bit of sound, or maybe a flushing of a toilet. Oh, what the whole inside all very luan one. In normal times, when our normal we don't feel it, but sometimes somehow they build a meditation center, and all the echo is there. Very difficult to meditate. Very difficult. The echo is really enhance the sound, and every small little thing. And somebody just put something on the floor near. Also, 3 or 4 yogis also can hear you. From the sometimes the ladies side and men's side in the same hall, The ladies, whatever they do, the men also can hear. Although they're apart by 10 yogis apart. So it's very loud actually. So it's not a very good way of building the hall like that. Now, so take note. This type of things sometimes they can pop up suddenly. You meditate, they can just pop in, and then it gets yourself very irritated. And here, make sure that you note your irritation. Uh, don't justify the person and so on. Finally, it's your own irritation that arises. Your irritation that arises if you don't watch it, and then it tends to become, every time you see the person, then you get annoyed. You see the person, you get annoyed. You see the person, you get annoyed. Then your retreat will be affected for a period, for a while. The next retreat again, come back, see each other. You remember the past deeds or the past action of the person done to you, or you think that the person done to you, then you get annoyed again. Immediately see the person in Bosong already. Yeah. So watch out for the anger. Watch out for the irritation. So note irritation, annoyance, annoyance. While you're noting this irritation, annoyance, just like when we are dealing with restless mind, this time we bring in a bit of calmness also. The calmness here means you note the annoyance, you note it as like annoying, or anger. You note it slower a little bit. You note it slower but firm noting. Because this anger, they are very rough and they're very agitated. It's just like a restless mind inside there. So you note a firm, but you bring in a little bit of calm and peace. That means a calm type of noting. But on the central desire side, it all depends. Because central desire comes with pleasant feelings. Sometimes pleasant feelings, you need to note it with more energetic, because when the pleasant feeling comes in, it softens everything else. It softens the whole mindfulness and everything. Everything softened. If you put soft again, then you cannot. So sometimes sensual desire you need a bit stronger. But sometimes sensual desire comes with a lot of thinking also. At that time, you need it to do a little bit more calm type of noting. So here is all about fine-tuning how we note our object. To fine-tune the way that how we pay attention to an object. So when the anger comes in, you note it more softly, softer. Because this anger is not going to be anything pleasant. No. It's going to be a lot of unpleasantness inside there. So you note. And Anger, 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 or unpleasant, 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 unpleasant. See until it fades away. This is the way how we pay attention to all these objects. Next time, when you do this often enough, next time you see that your mind, it's more tolerable to a number of things. Things that used to kacau you, used to disturb you, then you find that, hey, you can still live with it. I mean, it's unpleasant. You still, the person still knock the person turn on the fan, but the anger is not there. The you know that the person is still doing it, but the anger is no more there. So it's actually as a relief, from all this type of anger. So it's interesting if you're able to do all these type of things in the retreat. So there are a lot of small things, a lot of small things that you get angry about. So take note of them. So this is how we change from the unwise attention to a wise attention, right? Now, changing from a repulsive object to something more a beautiful object. Not in the sense of attachment to it, but again here is where you begin to change the repulsiveness of the object to become pleasant. How do we do that? Then there's a number of things how we can do that. Here, for example, the first thing the Buddha says is the metta. Is the metta. Okay? Now also, for example, when we are meditating, when you're angry of the person, is your metta strong enough that it can able to counter the anger or the person? If your metta is not strong enough, then the anger will overwhelm you. If your metta is strong enough, then the metta will overcome this one. The Buddha says the metta and the anger, they are opposite of each other. Because the metta, you look into the pleasant side of a person, the wholesome side of a person. That means wholesome in that, the more of a kinder side of a person, then this is what we call changing it from a repulsive object to a more pleasant object. Not in the sense of a sensual desire, but it's more towards a pleasant object, agreeable object. Now, when you look at your enemy, when you somebody you don't like, can you bring metta to the person? First of all, tak boleh. Very susah. Not to say can, but partially only lah, maybe. May you be well and happy. 搞了, enough already. Maybe, say it's easy, but if you don't train up the mind, then it's very difficult. You see, metta is actually to overcome all this anger. And metta also, we do this metta, it's not for situation, but metta is actually for people, beings, devas, and so on. People. It's for yourself. Yourself also considered metta, considered being also. So we use this metta, and when we have to overcome certain resentment, to overcome certain anger, and a lot of times is that the anger that arises in you is because of the person that you dislike or the person that you hate. But the development of this metta, it's finally is that the metta has to be unconditional. That is to say, you give metta, you radiate metta To the person that is respected too, you respected, or to the group of the people or the group of the beings or whoever they are. That strong metta that you can generate, it has to be the same for the person that you hate the most or hurt you the most. That whether the metta that you give to this group or to this group, they feels exactly the same. Boleh kah? That is where metta becomes truly unconditional. Truly unconditional. But a lot of times we cannot do that because we don't train in it. Yeah? We don't train further than that. Usually, when we train metta, usually we say that it's true in the beginning, you avoid a group of people that you hate, people that you love. That is to say, you have a sensual love for them, that are like your husband, your children. Those you have a very strong worldly type of love. That also you put it aside. A neutral person, people that you really do not know at all in the beginning, and also a dead person. This type of group of people, you put them aside. You don't start off with that yet, because you start off with those people, you will end up with all kinds of things. So usually we say we start off with oneself. Then we start off with somebody respected or a group of people as you grow bigger and bigger. We're not going to talk about metta too much now, but just give you a gist of how we can able to bring about metta good enough so that it can able to reduce our anger, then switch it back to vipassana meditation. So let's say you start off with oneself. You start off with, may I be free from harm and danger. When you start off with, may I be free from harm and danger, then again here, you must able to feel that you truly mean it. That you truly mean that you wish oneself to be free from harm and danger. You wish oneself to be free from harm and danger. I also, if I wish you to be free from harm and danger, I completely, truly mean that you free to be free from harm and danger. There's a meaning to it, because that meaning is the one that is going to arouse that metta. The words help, but the meaning together with the words, it brings up the metta. A lot of times people do metta, it's just only words. May I be free from harm and danger. May I be free from mental suffering. May I be free from physical suffering. But you don't really mean it. You don't really truly wish it. You don't have that goodwill nature. You don't have those things. So when you don't have that thing, that means there's a long way for you to go and arouse that metta. So when you do metta, you do for oneself. May I be free from harm and danger. For example, may I be free from all mental suffering. May I be well. May I be happy. You truly wish yourself to be well, to be happy. When you wish others also the same thing, may you be well, may you be happy. You truly wish the person to be well, to be happy. Whether the person is sick or not doesn't matter. Whether the person is poor or rich doesn't matter. Whether the person is your enemy or your good friend, it also doesn't matter. The matter is that you truly do wish the person. That is what we call metta. But of course, the enemy we all put aside first. But here, what I'm trying to say is that it's a truly genuine wish from the bottom of the heart. And then the metta arises. So we do it again and again, from a smaller group to a bigger group to a bigger group. So we develop the metta, repeat them again and again and again and again. Then when you can able to develop that metta for a certain level, and you feel that your mind is already able to generate some metta, you can feel that a sense of metta towards yourself and towards the people around you. You can feel it, you know. Then that time you should try with the person that you don't like. May she be free from harm and danger. See whether the heart still care, you know, still very, still got you know, a little bit of knots here and there. If still there's a knot here and there, that means you still need to work on the metta until you develop it for some time, that you can able to spread the metta to all beings, to even to the person that you truly dislike, and even to a neutral person also, that you do not know wherever they are. Uh, then with that, then at least there's some degree of metta has come up. That will be good. Because next time, when you meditate, meditate, and then that person become very annoying, you know, let's say, may you be free from harm and danger. Feel that all anger gone. And after that, anger gone, then go back to rising and falling, sitting, touching, whatever. Isn't it good? So fast, the mind switch from looking at it as something repulsive, and now looking at it as something more wholesome in that sense, more pleasant in that sense. So it's a lot of training, this metta, but it's good to have that. Uh, uh, Now the development of this metta, it's it's wonderful because you don't have, it's not only you can do it in the, not only in the retreat, but in the retreat it will be much better because due to the mindfulness that we have. But while you're out there, you should learn to try to do metta every now and then. Uh, May all beings around here be free from harm and danger. May the people in the neighborhood here be free from harm and danger. May all the animals around here, may they be well, may they be happy. Something like that. You walk around in your park, you know, things that you're able to see, then may all beings be free from harm and danger. May all beings be well, be happy, be peaceful, wherever they are. Well, something like that. And you do it repeatedly again and again. You got all the years for you to do. So every time you do it, you find that your mind becomes to mellow down. For a very hard character, you know, for a very pride, and sometimes, as I said, a lot of times we have that facade, you know. Facade means the front, you know. That means they work for 30 years already. Even they retired already, they still have that front, that facade. You know. So they use the metta and also other, this one, it helps to mellow down the pride, mellow down the hard character of a person. So it will be very good. So we do it repeatedly again and again throughout our life. May all beings be well and happy. If you get stuck in the traffic jam, may all beings here be free from harm and danger. Yeah. May they be well and happy. And you just carry on with whatever that you are doing. Every time that when I go into the forest also, I read it to the beings around. May all beings around here be well and happy. I'm not fear that they come in front of me. It's just that when they come in, my mind is ready. I don't go near them, but I wish them to be well and happy. You go your way, I go my way. Yeah. So something like that. Metta can be very powerful. Can be very powerful. In fact, that it would be better that if you can able to develop the metta until jhana, until truly development into jhana. And that one, you need proper retreat. At home, not so easy. Yeah. At home, you may able to calm down on it, but you truly want to reach jhana, then you have to seek for a place to do this type of some retreats. And you must know its method, you must know its skills, you must have mindfulness. You actually have a number of things. Actually, you need to have a lot of guide also, in fact, to do this metta. Yeah. In order for us to reach until jhana. Other words also, if you're able to do that with jhana, you can use your enemy also and go into jhana also. How nice, isn't it? Until that, the person that you truly dislike, but you can able to capture the person, may you be free from harm and danger and so on. And then after that, you enter into jhana with that. Then no anger, no irritation. So it's wonderful. So if you can able to do that, then it's wonderful. Yeah. Now, in all other Brahma Viharas also, yeah, all other Brahma Viharas also, somehow they are connected with this reducing or eliminating that dosa root. Compassion, karuna, is to overcome uh, that sadness or sympathy, this type of sadness. As I said, sadness also connected with the dosa root. Then mudita or altruistic joy, that one, it overcomes the what? Jealousy or envy. Envy also is connected to the dosa root because you don't like the person more successful than you. You don't like the irritation that the heart is unhappy. Then when it comes into equanimity also, then the equanimity here is to balance the mind, that sometimes situations are not agreeable to you. Uh, Situations are not agreeable to you. Things are not agreeable to you. You cannot just use metta. You keep your mind steady, right at the middle. Uh, um, for example, what? I didn't think of anything. Next time, when it comes to equanimity, I'll talk about it a little bit. Uh, Sometimes certain situation you cannot change. Sometimes certain situation you cannot change. Like, for example, your car break down in the middle of the road. Yeah. Instead of for us to getting angry with the car, getting angry with other person, then we keep the mind steady because there's nothing for you to share your metta to. May you be well and happy to the car. Cannot, you're not able to. So this kind of situation, we keep the mind steady. Because sometimes if we don't keep the mind steady, then with this type of situation, we go in the panic mode. Oh, you say lah, what to do already? How can I? Then we go in the panic mode. We don't know how to keep the mind steady. So we keep the mind steady. That means we, instead of going down into all kinds of wrong type of thoughts, negative thoughts, unwholesome thoughts, the mind stays in the middle. Then also this equanimity doesn't go further than like become too excessive, become too attached to everything. Because sometimes they're surrounding all beautiful things. Then you got to be mindful, you got to keep your mind steady. Sometimes monks, we go to certain places, then all the beautiful girls around. Then what you do? Be mindful. You keep the mind steady. The situations like that. Once in a while, once in the blue moon, then we keep our mind steady. We cannot avoid those type of things, but we keep the mind steady. If not, it goes into sensual desire, it goes into attachment, it goes into joy, it goes into a lot of connection and so on. So we keep the mind mindful, steady in the middle. So something like that. All this Brahma Vihara, it helps you to overcome certain of your unwholesome, especially connected to the dosa root. Okay, I think we'll continue on with this anger thing a little bit on Monday. Okay, so tomorrow we'll have a Q&A session, and if you have this one on the wait, if you have questions, then send it up to the boxes there. Of course, again, I got to remind you all, the question is connected to meditation, connected to the Dhamma talk, and so on. Okay, for those who are online, then this one, okay. Hold on. Okay. So those who are online, then this is the phone number you send your message to, and by 3 o'clock, I'll try to get the question. If you come late, then of course. Again, here, let me remind you all. For those online one, is questions is all connected to meditation, to the Dhamma talk, also some nature of the Dhamma. Don't ask me too much on, like last week, a bit of medical one. I'm not so good at it. Okay. All right. Okay, we'll share merits. Huh? Okay. Idang me bhavanang nibbanasa pachayo hotu. May my mental cultivation be a condition for the realization of nibbana. Imang no punya bagang sabba satanang dema. We share these merits with our departed ones, with all beings and all the devas. Sabbe satta sukhi hontu anumodantu. May all beings be happy. May they rejoice in these merits. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.